It's now a new month, and that means it's time for our PC Gaming Playback series, which is where we take a look at all of the big releases from last month and talk about which ones I did and did not buy. These last few months of the year are always by far the most exciting, so let's get into it. Hey, welcome to Zach's Tech Turf and my PC Gaming Playback series, which is where we take a break from all the hardware and just talk about all the big PC releases of last month. And if you're new here and you want to see more PC gaming or PC building videos, then hit that subscribe button down below and also that notification bell. That way you never miss an episode. But yeah, let's get into it. Because I didn't get a chance to knock out a title in my games I'm embarrassed I haven't played yet list, let's jump straight into the big hit releases of last month, with the first one being Call of Duty Black Ops 4. As I'm sure most of you know, I'm a complete sucker when it comes to Call of Duty games, and I literally buy every single title every single year. Most years I'm usually over the title after about 2 months, but Black Ops 4 looks like it'll stick around for the entire year, at least I hope so. This year they completely removed the single player mode, and instead there's a blackout mode, which is Battle Royale, and of course there's always the online multiplayer and zombies modes too. Up until the time of making this video, I still haven't played a single match of Blackout or Zombies, and I've only been in the multiplayer mode so far. I'm actually really digging how they organized the online playlist this year. For example, instead of queuing for deathmatch, there's now a deathmatch playlist which rotates game modes between TDM, kill confirmed, and things like that. The bad part about Call of Duty on PC is that every single year people eventually only queue for TDM, but with this new mechanic we'll at least be able to play other game modes instead of TDM whenever the population numbers die down. Overall, I'm definitely a big fan of the Call of Duty title this year, and I'm pretty excited that I'm saying this without even trying 66% of the game modes at this point. Hopefully I'll get a chance to review those next month. Moving on to the second big release of October, and that's Forza Horizon 4. Forza Horizon 4 is the exact game that you would expect if you played Forza Horizon 3. It's pretty much the same exact game with some more additions and a new map to roam around in. So far I haven't played more than 4 or 5 hours, but I have unlocked some neat cars at this point, and it's been a lot of fun. If you played Forza Horizon 3 and you just want some more maps to roam around in, or maybe a couple extra cars, then yeah, go ahead and buy this game because it's exactly what you would expect. But if you still have a lot of content left in Forza Horizon 3 to play, then I really don't think you should spend the $60 on this one. The third game up in our big releases is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and this one is getting way better reviews than I think any of us expected. Sure, it's pretty much the exact same game as last year's title Origins was, but Ubisoft made a few different tweaks this time, and it made a big difference. For the most part, it's your typical Assassin's Creed game. It's a humongous open world with tons of side missions to distract you, and the combat is action style with unlockable skills. In my opinion, the combat started off a little boring. You only had a light attack, heavy attack, and your bow, but as you unlock different skills like the Spartan kick, it gets way more fun. Moving on to the other big releases of the month that I actually didn't buy, the first one was World War III. World War III is one of those humongous map Battlefield style first-person shooters, and even though it's just now getting into early access, it's actually receiving a lot of hype this month. I haven't tried this one for myself yet. It's currently $28 for the early access version, but from what I've been seeing and reading, it looks like the Battlefield game but with a little bit more realism. The game is focused around realistic modern combat in real world places but with fantasy conflicts. Personally, I've never been a fan of shooters with huge maps because after you die, you have to run another 10 minutes or so just to get back into the action, which is the main reason why I'm a sucker for Call of Duty. I do understand that a lot of people like this much more strategic style of gameplay, so if that's your style, then maybe you should check this one out. And finally, the fifth and final big release this month was Calibur 6, and sorry to any fans out there, this one doesn't interest me at all. Don't get me wrong, I know how much hype and love goes into these style of fighting games. They've just never been my cup of tea. Instead of simple character attacks, Calibur 6 focuses on individual characters' weapon attacks, and the animations look baller. I don't know much about the characters in this game, but I do know that Geralt from the Witcher series is in this one, and I would definitely only play him if I had this game. So that pretty much is already going to wrap it up for this month's episode of PC Gaming Playback. There were definitely a lot of great titles this month, as expected this time of the year, but by far my favorite two options were Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Black Ops 4. Next month there's also some titles I'm interested in, especially Battlefield 5, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that. Well, that wraps up this month's episode of PC Gaming Playback. Now feel free to head on over to one of these two videos if you haven't seen them yet, and definitely hit that subscribe button because later this week we have that NVIDIA sponsored video. You don't want to miss that video.